Earlier, you said you were addicted to video games. You used the word addicted.
I started playing World of Warcraft shortly after I graduated college. I was always a video game guy. I was interested in video games, and this game was like unlike anything that had ever come out before. It was so immersive. I got really into it, so where I would play all day. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd play World of Warcraft, and I wouldn't even stop to eat. Like, I would be eating at the computer, and I would just be playing all day long. I would stay up all night. After college, I didn't really have a social group anymore, but I found a social group all through World of Warcraft. So that was part of what was good about it, was that it actually let me be part of a club, of other people that play this game together.
When did you realize that it was getting out of hand?
4 years of playing it a lot. That was like what I did on my days off. I started to realize part of the downside of having a group that you play with too is I had scheduled activities in the game with them. I was a leader, and I liked being a leader. I did realize that I had a compulsion to keep playing this game. I was thinking about it all the time, and I wanted to play it with any spare moment that I had. It's something that I'm emotionally addicted to. It's a habitual thing, and I just decided that I was going to quit, and I had to just sort of quit cold turkey, and I just told my group that I wasn't going to be there anymore, and then I was going to have to stop. My life changed. I started playing hockey again. It's like, they say, what's your anti-drug for like drug addictions, right? You have some other activity that could take the place. So I replaced that negative activity of this addictive video game with a positive of playing hockey again. There was a lot of positives from the time that I played that game, but looking back on it, it was like, I feel like I kind of just lost some time, and it took a while before I realized that it had taken over my whole life. I still play video games now, but I'm very aware that I have those addictive tendencies towards them. One of my best friends now, we get together online and play games, but we both have young kids, and we don't have the opportunity to really kind of go out to bars or whatever and hang out. But hey, after the kids are a bit in bed, we can hop on a video game for an hour and play, and we end up chatting and talking about work and our day and, other stuff while we're playing. So it's kind of just another thing that you do to hang out.
Yeah, okay, so I have a couple thoughts on that. Last night, I was watching Welcome to Wrexham. They did a piece on the effect that COVID had when the league shut down, when there were no fans going to the games. And they surveyed a lot of fans, and they asked them what they missed most about it. Overwhelmingly, the first thing that people said was nothing to do with the sport itself, nothing to do with watching people play. It was about the relationships that they had with other men and the things they could talk about while they were watching soccer.
Yeah.
And they drew the conclusion that we as men use, whether it's video games, sports, we use those times to connect while we're doing something that's perceived as manly. We're watching competition, we're getting jacked up, we're drinking beer, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But the root of it is that's a way to cover and make it appropriate to be having real conversations with other men. And that was the first time I'd heard it framed that way. But it makes a ton of sense when you think about all the time we spent on Sundays watching football. I didn't give a shit about football. I didn't care who was playing. I liked hanging out with you guys, having a beer, laughing, talking about other stuff, and the game happened to be on. But there were no times where we just said, hey, you know what? Let's have a family night and sit down and just all of us yuck it up. That didn't happen, What do you think about that?
I think part of it is sometimes guys need something external to focus on together. Maybe it goes back to hunter-gatherer times, but we need some external thing to be a team about. We're not hardwired, or it's not our natural tendency to just get together purely for social interaction. I think we can do that, and we have to be intentional about it if we want to, but it's easier to be let's watch the game, and you may not even watch the game, and you end up just having a complete social experience. Like I was saying, there's times that my friend and I get on the game and we really don't actually play very much because we're just talking the whole time, and hey, that's great because it gives us a chance to talk. And I think about the a cappella group you and I were in, and how that was an awesome opportunity for these guys to bond and to have a great structure to create these male relationships. I think that guys can get that through religious groups too. Even though it's not really for me, I really respect what it can offer certain people. Listening to the conversation you had with your father-in-law, about some of the faith-based ways that he's able to connect with the other men. That's inspiring to me. So I think maybe we just want some kind of shared interest,
I
that,
think
that can bring us together.
Some kind of a buffer that allows that communal group feeling to be okay. Because it just feels weird to just say, hey, you guys want to hang out and chat, I think a lot of people get a little weird feeling about that. I kind of see religion the same way now. It's not for me, but I appreciate what it can do for people in terms of bringing people together in community. I look at CrossFit as the same way. There's all those memes, people who do CrossFit only talk about CrossFit. And that's true to an extent, but typically they're in a group of other people who do it because that becomes the community. It's the same as people who go to Bible study talk about the Bible. Well, there you go. It's the common point that we're rallying around. And then the community is why we're truly there is the community. Yeah.
I think because of those factors, especially for guys, and especially as we get older, we have to recognize the importance of social connection, and that some of these external things don't come as natural or as easy as they used to, and we actually have to be intentional about it. You have to join some group or whatever. And one thing that I keep hearing is that church attendance is going way down and people are losing that community. And is there anything to replace it on that community level? Forget about the content, because similar with sports, the content may not be the most important part. It's the community and getting together, and we're human beings are social people. So you've got to find some kind of way to get community. You've got to realize how important that is and find some way of making connection.